Hello and welcome to Win Some Loosemore. My name is Dieter and you join me for Why I Like, a series of videos where I take you through some of the games in our collections and I tell you why I like them. Today we're telling you why I like Fantasy Realms. Fantasy Realms is a very simple rummy style card game of building a combination of cards in your hands to score the most points with a vaguely fantasy theme. It goes from 3 to 6 players with a 2-player variant. Why don't I show you a bit of how it works and we'll come back and I'll tell you why I like Fantasy Realms. So here we have it set up for 4 players. Each person at the beginning of the game is dealt 7 cards, and throughout the entire game they will have 7 cards. A card looks like this. There is a suit, 10 different suits, and then a wild suit, a base power, which is points it's worth at the end of the game, plus then some extra text. This might be a bonus or a penalty. So penalty here, blanked. So this card would be blanked, which means it's worth nothing unless it's with at least 1 flood card. Flood is one of the suits. I don't currently have one, whereas this has a lower base score. That was quite a good one, 23. This has 4. But it gets a bonus 15 for each other weather card. This is a weather card. I currently don't have any. So on my turn, I must do 2 things. I must pick up a card and then I must discard a card. So, because there's nothing else available, I must take from the deck. So I draw from the deck. I now have 8 cards. I must discard 1. So I'm trying to build my best combo. So for each beast, I have a beast. Blanks all armies, leaders, and other beasts. So probably don't want any armies or leaders. I don't, that's good. Clears penalties on all cards, that might be a good one to keep. With Rainstorm, blanked unless with at least a flood. With any wizard, I just drew a wizard, so let's get rid of the warship. This goes face up on the table for everyone to see. I'm back down to 7 cards, so that's my go. This person now has the choice. They can either take from the deck or the face-up cards. Because I'm not really paying attention, let's just take another one of these, plus for each beast. It has a beast, plus 30 with the princess. It has the princess. Wow, this is a good hand. Great flood, blanks all except mountain. Oh good, I've got the mountain. This is a good draw. That person needed rainstorm, but I don't know that. And blizzard or great flood. My goodness, this is a good one. So let's get rid of that. They're back down to 7, and so on and so on. Everybody goes round. You're choosing if, let's say this person, if you draw from the discards, you add it to your hand, obviously, and then discard another one. The game ends when there are 10 face-up cards. So if you're drawing from the deck, you are counting down to the end of the game. If you're drawing from face-up, you are slowing that down and helping it last longer until you get the combination that you want. Once there are 10, the game automatically finishes, and then the game comes with a very thick pad of scores, double-sided, so you could get loads and loads of plays out of this. And it's very simply set up, obviously names across the top. You just score each individual card and how they combo with everything else, and then the highest total wins. So let's have a look at this one because it looked like it would be a good one. So let's start with this. The Beastmaster is worth 9, plus 9 for each beast. It has a beast, which is the unicorn, so that one would be worth 18. Second card, the unicorn, worth 9, plus 30 if it's with the princess. It is with the princess, so that's worth 39. Princess, worth only 2, but plus 8 for each army, wizard, and other leader. We've only got 1 wizard, so she's worth 10. The land is only worth 9, but plus 50 with both smoke and wildfire. I don't have smoke and wildfire. It's only worth 9. Penalty, 32, but this one clears all penalties, so this one's worth 32. And then 8, 10 for each flood card, so that's that one. Blanks all flames except lightning. I don't have any flames, so that's worth 18. And then 13 is a base score, plus 40 with Rainstorm, which it has, and either the Blizzard or Great Flood, so it has to have 2 of those 3 cards. One of them has to be Rainstorm, and I do have the Great Flood, so this is worth 53. So we total those up, and whoever has the highest score wins. If I just show you an example of a filled out score sheet, here we go. We've played a couple of games on this, but it just goes through all the various cards, base strength, any bonus or penalty, what their total, then you add up all the totals. Points can range anywhere from, well, here we've got as low as 70s, and here we've got into the early 200s, so there could be a good range of scores. Whoever has the highest score wins. So why do I like Fantasy Realms? Well, firstly, I suppose it's a nice link into, or a step into the kind of world of designer games, the hobby of board gaming, if you like, because it's a very familiar mechanic for most people. Quite a few people have played gin rummy, that kind of thing, where that's exactly what you're doing. You're laying down a card, getting a card, other way around, getting a card, laying down a card, to build this hand, usually then to turn in sets of triples or runs or whatever it is in those kind of games. So this isn't much of a leap for those people. Yes, it's got a little bit of that complexity with that there are 10 suits, 11 if you include the wilds, and then there's the text on how they all interact. But the kind of fun from the game is those interactions. If you want to play rummy, just go play rummy. But this is that, so it's familiar, but now adds all of that almost strategy to the game. Not quite. It's somewhere in between tactics and strategy, because you can, from your opening hand, go, okay, this is the combo I want to build around. So you've got a kind of strategy, but because it's to some degree luck of the draw, it feels much more tactical. So it's somewhere in between those two. But it's a light game, it's a filler game, it only takes 15-20 minutes, probably takes 5 of those minutes just to score it at the end. I like the score pad, I like how relatively well it's set out, it's nice and clear how you score it, and then you add it all up, and it's really thick, which is good. Half of the depth of the box is the score pad, and the other half is the deck. So that's, wow, nearly half of the depth of the box is just the score pad, so you get a lot of play out of it, which is great. The artwork's cool, it suits my kind of style, won't be for everybody. The theme is kind of there, but it's more about how things interact, that's cool. What I really like about it though is that every combination thus far that I've played feels powerful. I tend to not win that often, won a couple of times maybe, but usually somebody has a better one, but I'm sat there with my cards going, oh yeah, if I just do this, and oh, if I just get that one, oh yeah, then that's really good. And so you just sat there semi-excited the whole time going, I'm going to do this. I can possibly count it all up. Oh, I've got at least 100 points already, and then if I get this one card, it doesn't even have to be a specific one, just one of those. I think that's really cool, really clever how they managed to design a game where you feel like you're doing well most of the time. I think a couple of people that I've played with have kind of sat there going, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with these cards. Fair enough, but because you're constantly drawing each turn, that will change quite quickly, and so then you can go, oh, okay, I'm going to focus on this thing. And so even if you don't have the immediate strategy that you want to go for, it will always pop up and you'll always go, okay, cool, now I know what I'm doing, this feels good, this feels good. Oh no, that person finished the game like one card before I wanted them to. And that's always the tension. Very rarely are people sat there going, I've got a finished hand. Cool. Actually, in that example, they might have done that. They just sit there going, I know I've got a strong scoring hand. If something pops up, fine. But otherwise, I'm going to constantly draw from the deck instead of the face-ups. That's cool for me as well. I like that there's the two ways of doing it, not just for the sake of it, because most of these types of games, the discard pile is a single pile, so you have to take the top one. With them all face up and being the timer for the game, I think is a great choice. And so you're going, oh, I want to kind of end the game, but I do want that exact card. All right, I'll have to take that exact card, and so that's not timer. Or, oh no, I need more time, but nothing I need is on the table. And if I take from the deck, that's not going to give me more time, because now I have to discard one to the table. I'm bringing us closer and closer to the end. So they've got tension in as well. I'm saying this badly, but there's just those 2 or 3 elements that I really enjoy. The way the cards all work together makes you feel like you've got a good hand most of the time, or at least a good thing that you're going for. The tension of the timings, and that it goes up to 6 players, really cool. So it works in more situations, and the score pad's well laid out. There is a 2-player variant that I didn't show you, where you start with no cards. It's a little different. Kirsty, I think, actually prefers it. It's okay, you build your initial hand, so you don't have to sit there with the opening 7 cards going, okay, this is what I'm going to go for. It kind of feeds that information to you as you go. So for the first few turns, you draw 2, discard 1, draw 2, discard 1. So you're building your hand. You could still take from the discard, that whole mechanic's still there. But your hand just builds in a slightly different way. It works, it's fine, we do it. And it is enjoyable. I just prefer the larger scale, partly because you're going to see more cards appear that you had nothing to do with, and so the options are bigger. I don't know, preferences for different people, but it's a good variant for 2 players. So don't go, oh, it's only 3 to 6, it's not worth it. No, it's good, it works at 2, it does. I just prefer the normal game, the normal rules that comes with. There's another variant to make it even harder in 3 to 7 player Chaos Realms, making it even harder, and all sorts of other things. So this is good, simple, light little rules, about 4 pages of the stuff. Really clear, everything makes sense. It's just a good game. We'd picked this up when we were on holiday in Canada, and I've really enjoyed it. I believe it's available. I'll put a link if you want to find it, but that is why I like Fantasy Realms. Thank you very much for watching. Between now and the next video, do check us out on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so all the usual platforms. Do look us up, do follow us on there. Do subscribe to this channel if you don't already, and hit the bell icon so you stay notified of new videos when they come out. But until then, I have been Dieter for Win Some, Loosemore. Goodbye.